Good morning, everybody. We'll be starting in just a second. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, everyone. Let me just share my screen and we will begin. Here's my camera. Hello, everybody. Hopefully, everybody's doing great. Jesus, I need another haircut. Share my screen. There we go. There we go. Perfect. All right. Let's say hello to everybody and then we will begin. We got Cheese Gray Trader. We got Fred, Mr. Vertuvian here. Hope you guys had a nice weekend. Kevin, Omar, good morning, Omar. Manuel, Vernon, K. Lopez, James, Ivano, Esby, Wayne, Jill. Good morning, everybody. David, Beamclay, Devin, Rihanna, Junior. Junior's in the house. Stan, Arnulfo, Frank, Steven, Bill, Ray, Bugs. Good morning, Bugs. Good morning, Ray. Good morning, Jill. Good morning, Devin. Good morning, Arnulfo. Good morning, everybody. Mike, Jody, C. Fazio, Deanna, Illinois grain farmer, Jeff, Wade, Robert, Jesse, Robert, Mark, Javad, Romel, Genevieve, Walt, Dave, Rick, David, Bob, Mark, Warren, Darren, JB, Hopium, Carlos, John, Tom, Next Gen, Campbell. Good morning, Cam. Oh, it's you. It's Cam. Charlie, Clyde. Good morning, Charlie. David, Matt, Al, Gregory, Stacy, Richard. Good morning, Richard. Welcome back. Raj, Henry, Edward, Shamens. Good morning, Shamens. Delbert, Naples fan. Thomas, Mark, Omar. Let's see. We got a lot of people here. That's what we got. Kirk, Eduardo, Don, Kevin, Solaire, Steve, Ralph, Moondog, Phil, William. Good morning to you, William. Thank you for the email this weekend. Ruth, Rod, Harold, Doris, Harry, RP, PI 007, Brian, Steve, Karen. Good morning, Karen the Shark. Jean, Kirk, Just Jen, Jay Blazer, Tony, Ruth, Don, Mike, um, Dallas, Richard, Bob. Good morning, Bob. William, Gregory, Ron, Next Gen, Kurt, Peanuts is in the house. Justin, Santiago, Carlos, Bob, Duzzy, Lori, Jason. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. You'll be traveling again this Thursday. I'll be traveling this Friday. I'm going to LA for a wedding. Actually, let me show you guys some good pictures. This is yesterday. Hold on, let me see if I can get it up here. See if I can get it up here, show you some pics. I know you guys like to see pics. Let me show you some, if I can get it working. For some reason, my computer's working real slow today. You know what? I'm not going to mess with it. I'm just going to leave it alone. I'll show you some pics later. It was my wife's birthday yesterday. We had a nice party for her in the neighborhood. It was great. We had a lot of fun. A lot of flowers. A lot of flowers. Had to bring back home a lot of flowers. All right, there we go. Okay, next thing, let me give you. Yeah, let me give you this thing here. This is the earnings. This is the biggest earnings players for this week, okay? Let me give that to you right now. And I'll post this later in Telegram channel, but here's the biggest earnings players for the week. Good morning. He did, Murray. He attended. Clyde did attend. He did. He did. Let's see if I could. Nah, it doesn't want to let me do it. I'm just going to turn this thing off and close it and turn it back on. All right. It's not that important right now. So, again, here's the link. Don't forget. And today in the VIP room, I will be answering the questions of how to avoid these 10 problems. Um, Omar emailed me. He identified the first three or four. I'll go over it all over today, but today we're going to talk about how to avoid these problems. Friday, we talked about these problems. Today, we're going to talk about how to avoid these problems. Okay? So, FYI. And if you don't have this, let me post this for you as well. Here's the link for that as well. Good morning, Rick. Good morning, Rick. There's the link for that as well. Also, if you guys would like, make sure to come to Customer Service Live and the Cam and Gustavo show. Here's the link for the VIP room today at noon. We'll be starting literally in just a moment, folks. Good morning, everybody. Good morning for everybody who's coming in. Krish, Piet, DeBrog, Julio. Good morning. Murray, good morning. He was definitely there. Too bad you weren't there. A young lady from Hollywood, Florida was asking about you, Murray. And right here. Here we go. Aloha, Patrick. There's Customer Service Live. All right. You too, Richard. Happy Monday to you as well. Happy Monday to you as well. All right. Let's start off with the pleasantries and all the other good stuff. So what's the market doing? The market's off a little bit. Is this surprising me? No, this is not surprising me at all. Okay. Oh, by the way, if you're just coming in here, please, please, please click the gearbox and make sure you're at 1080p. I have to do this every day. See how I'm set at auto? This is bad. This will take you wherever what's best for your internet, not what's best for you. You want to go to 1080p. 396 thumbs up. I don't know about that, but that's pretty good. So anyway, right here, make sure you're at 1080p, okay? And also, while you're there, please give us a thumbs up, okay? I would appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. I'll give myself a thumbs up. There we go. And if you don't want to give me a thumbs up, that's okay too. Good morning, Coach Ruben. Good morning, Harold. Good morning, JB. Good morning, Kai. Good morning. All right. Let's talk about the market. We have a little bit of offset. We had almost 1,000 points on the Dow. Seeing a little volatility right now is not unheard of. Also, it is Monday, and on Monday, we usually have a rotation day. I believe a lot of folks will be rotating, taking profit from Friday, seeing how the market's doing. But don't be surprised to see a little bit of Friday's trading session off. And I'll talk about levels in a bit. We'll get there. But don't be surprised to see a little cool off period, okay? Don't be surprised to see a little cool off period here. I mean, it would be normal. It would be kind of weird if the market did not fluctuate a little bit after the move that we had. As far as Fed data this week, we've got, and we'll talk about this when we talk about catalysts, but we got new home sales today, consumer confidence tomorrow, petroleum status report on Wednesday, GDP on Thursday, and jobless claims, and the big daddy right here, personal income and expenses on Friday. So the big report will be on Friday morning. I believe I'll still be here Friday morning. I'll be here for the most of the trading session. I don't think I leave till the second half of the day. But I will be traveling on Sunday, and I will be traveling on Monday, which is a holiday. Okay. I'm going to a wedding in Los Angeles. Let me see why isn't my thing turning on? Oh, here it is. There it is. Here's some pics from last night. That's my wife and I. Pics from last night. There we go. You could see us right there. That's the party we had last night. All right. She turned 21 yesterday. All right, that's that. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the bond market. Oh, actually, we didn't talk about small caps. Two small caps for the day that I'm looking at. I'll give them to you right now. These are the stocks right here. You've got OS. You've got OSRH. Oh, thank you, Coach Ruben. Thank you. That's OSRH. You want it only if it's above this 100-day line. You don't want it below because this acts as a resistance level. So you want it only if it goes above 125. We want OSRH if it goes above 125 during the regular trading session. And then the other one is caps. Caps. And you want this one if it goes above the 200-day moving average all the way up to here. So 236. 236 for that one, okay? We'll talk about it, Dan. When I get into the technicals, I'll talk about all of that, okay? Yeah, that's what I need to do. Order a chair there when I'm there. That's exactly what my goal on Saturday is going to be. She is. She's a beautiful girl. She's a beautiful girl. I married very well. Uh, all right. So right here, above the 200-day moving average, okay? Nothing below the 200. Volume is really high on this one. It may even overcome this one here. So we got to keep an eye on this thing. Those are the two that we're looking at today, okay? Uh, the crude oil. Let's look at crude oil. Oh, bond market. Let's start with the bond market. Notice the bond market's not doing anything. We thought the bond market was going to drop on Friday. It did not. And right now, it looks like we're back in this range. So it looks like the bonds have the bonds are not giving us any directional bias. And if the bond's not giving us much directional bias, I don't think we're going to get anywhere. This isn't really significant here. This was one of the reasons why the stock market jumped on Friday. See how we went from here to here? That's a big relief. Now we're coming right back down to here, but we're still in this area, okay? So as long as we're still in this area, I'm not expecting much. But I will tell you this. If you see the bond market come down below this area, the market should, in principle, lose all of the gains that it got yesterday, okay? And remember, we have a lot of tech earnings this week. There's a lot of stuff. Thank you, Gregory. I appreciate it. Eagle Beagle, good morning to you. Good morning to you. Happy Monday. Hope mom is doing well. Hope she's on the mend. All right. So you guys can see we're not really getting a lot of directional bias, and we're literally sitting right at the 50-day moving average. OSRH a buck 25 and caps 236. Those are my alerts right there. She does, Gregory. Thank you. I'll tell her you said that. Make her very happy. So so right here, you could see we're just kind of drifting. But I'm telling you right now, one of the biggest reasons, if not the biggest reason why the stock market jumped 1,000 points is because of this. And right now, the high is near the low of this. So again, don't be surprised if we see a little cool off. We are down 0.40, but we are still in this range. So I'm not seeing any major sell-offs, but I'm just letting you know that the bonds are not cooperating like they were this morning, like they were on Friday. And you could see that right here. Look, the low is like above Friday here. You could see right here, this little bar, the high on Thursday and the low on Friday don't even intervene. There's like a baby gap here, like 1 or 2 ticks. But point is, we were strictly above the 50-day, and look at where we're at right now. So, good morning, Peter. Good morning. So, a lot of that sentiment that you saw on Friday, that excitement, is not there anymore. And also, I want to remind you, and I'll talk about this when we get into the stock market, but I want to remind you that most of the gains that we saw on Friday happened over a 25-minute period. Basically, after that, it was like a flag. It was just. So, we'll talk about that in a minute as well. Okay. Crude oil. Crude oil is moving higher. It is moving into this range. Remember something, folks. Crude oil moving higher is not good for transports, and it adds a pressure to the economy. Okay. Is this a major move that we're seeing? Not really. But I'd like to see us go above the 200-day. We can have a nice little breakout. I'd be a buyer of energy stocks if we started moving above the 200-day moving average. But so far, we're kind of just in this. We still have to get above this VWAP, above this 50-day, above this 200-day. There's a lot of levels here we need to overcome. But, and also, again, energy prices going higher is not really good for inflationary markets, for balancing inflation, and it raises the price of transports, which is not really all that bullish for the market. Okay. But one of the reasons why crude oil could be going up, remember, it's not in the 70s right now, it's in the 60s. One of the biggest reasons why crude oil is going up is because there's a the market is trying to price in a better looking cycle and lower interest rates. And oil lower interest rates boost the economy. They turbocharge the economy, and travel stocks, all these things become cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. So crude oil becomes more useful when there's obviously less inflation. So that's one of the things we're seeing. I don't think crude oil is moving up because of Ukraine and Russia. If you guys want to know really what's going on with Ukraine and Russia, I will tell you exactly what's going on. Our president is trying to do everything possible to get those two numbskulls to settle their disputes. And I only commend him for doing it. The problem is he doesn't understand Putin. Putin is a gangster, okay? He's a gangster wearing a suit. He's ex-KGB. Putin has no interest in settling this war with Ukraine. Putin wants to take over Ukraine. Putin wants time. Time is on his side. Putin wants to buy as much time as possible. The more time Putin has, the higher the odds that he's going to wear out Ukraine. Okay. So Putin is going to do and say whatever he can to get America to be friends with him so he can buy more and more time. Have you guys noticed the pattern? Putin, if you don't do this, we're going to sanctions. Okay, okay, okay. Because I love you, President Trump. I'm going to come to the table. Yes, yes, but we're not going to do anything. That's happened twice. It's going to keep happening. I'm hoping that Trump figures out what I'm saying right now because so far he hasn't seemed to have figured it out yet. I'm hoping that he's figuring out that he's being played. Putin is playing him. I mean, I don't know how else to say it to you. And I think it's becoming pretty obvious at this point. So I'm hoping that Trump will realize. So far, again, Trump is acting in really good faith, which I only commend. I mean, he's trying. He's trying. You could see the guy's trying everything possible. But Putin is not negotiating in good faith. Putin is buying time. Okay. So America is going to start getting tough with Russia. I'm hoping that the tariffs will do something. But so far, Trump parading Putin and shaking his hand and doing all of that just makes Putin look really strong from a Russian perspective. But it's not doing anything to solve this war. Everybody is in on it except America. America needs to realize that Putin is just buying time and trying to appease our president so that there's no traction. Okay. Hopefully that will happen. I don't talk about who I voted for or anything like that, and it doesn't make any difference. And I think everybody here would agree 100% with what I'm saying because at this point it's pretty obvious. Yeah, he gave him a couple of weeks. Exactly, 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 exactly. But Shani Loka, I'm a lifetime Republican, just so you know. I'm a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. Okay. Uh, So gold is doing nothing. We're still in this chop, 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 chop. Now, I'll tell you something interesting. The longer gold will stay here, the higher the odds that it'll actually break out and move higher. Look at how many times it's tried to do that. Okay. If it keeps knocking on that door, it'll eventually hit. Also, the fact that gold, um, also the fact that, uh, um, anyway, the fact that we're just moving choppy, the fact that we can't sell off of this level is also saying is there's some real strong support around the 33.21 level. Okay. And by the way, I'm not saying anything like all I'm saying is our president is doing everything possible. I mean, he seems to really want to settle this and he seems to be acting in good faith. But in order for it to happen, all three parties have to be acting in good faith. And I don't think Putin is acting in good faith. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying anything against our country, against our president. I'm just saying that Putin is a rascal. And if any, I mean, I think by now everybody understands that. Okay. Again, I'm not saying anything earth-shattering here. Nothing in war happens first without conversation. I think your sentiment are true and the world shares your. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not really saying anything like I'm not saying anything really crazy here. You know, it clearly looks like our president wants to deal. I mean, he looks like he's putting in like actual effort into solving this problem. But you can't do it if Putin's not. It takes. You know how they say it takes two to party. Well, in this case, one of them isn't coming to the table. Okay, let's talk about US dollar. What is US dollar doing? Well, remember Friday we bolted down on Friday all the way to the base, but look, we didn't break the base and now we're coming up. We are just chop chop chop. There is no directional bias in the US dollar. There's no directional bias in the US dollar. There's no directional bias in gold, which means in theory, we really shouldn't have a lot of directional bias in the stock market and look at the bond market. So I am fearfully, I'm thinking we're going to erase a lot of what we saw, or at least some of what we saw on Friday. And I'll talk about that right now. I'll talk about it in just a few minutes. We have a lot to talk about in terms of the market, and I got some levels to show you. We'll get into all of that in just a minute. Hey, you know what, just Jen, if he can solve, if our president can solve that war, he deserves the Nobel Prize. My wife would be the first one to give it to him. Okay. If he can solve it, he deserves the Peace Prize. I think everybody would agree with that. If Trump can resolve this war, he should get the Peace Prize. He's not going to, but he should if he's going to solve this war. Bitcoin, Bitcoin is breaking down, folks. We have a legitimate breakdown on Bitcoin, and it is one of my catalysts as a result. Okay. We do have a breakdown on Bitcoin. Look, the guy's trying. He really genuinely is trying, you know. If he can prevent from 5,000 people from dying a day, he deserves that damn prize, you know? Of course, Jen. Of course not if he rewards Putin's aggression. I says if he can put the war to an end. Okay. Yeah, yeah. That war stopping on day one, that didn't work out so well. But at least he's trying. You got to give him some credit for trying. When we were in Europe weeks ago, every country was dealing with Ukrainian refugees. Absolutely. Absolutely, Rick. Have you seen some of those female Ukrainian refugees? They're gorgeous, Rick. I don't think Europe is in a hurry to give them back. You guys know Ukrainian women are like the second most beautiful women in the world behind Canadians. So I don't think Europe minds too much. I'm just playing around, Rick. All right, China. China. China is killing it right now. Hey, Art, good morning to you. China is killing it right now. They're doing really good. They just made a 10-year high this morning. And US dollar is doing absolutely nothing, which kind of offsets each other. All right, let's talk about catalysts. I'm just messing around with you guys. It's Monday morning. All right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, let's see. She is. She's beautiful. You should see some of her friends, Bob. Oy, oy, oy. It's breathtaking looking women. All right. What are the Richard comes in locked and loaded. Let's see. Richard says, all right. So Richard says Fed rate cut optimism fades. I don't think that's okay if you want to call that. Nvidia earnings are not even close to being a catalyst. PC inflation data is not a catalyst. 10-year treasury is not a catalyst. How about this, Richard? Home sales, furniture, crypto, consumer staples, and chips. How does that sound? How about that? Home sale, let's see. Home sales, Intel, fine, chips, Bitcoin, furniture stock. You got everything except, let's see, you didn't get crypto and you didn't get, Matt, you didn't get crypto and you didn't get, and you think you got everything else. I think you got everything else. Matt, you got everything except crypto. Richard, NVIDIA doesn't report earnings today. Craig says that would be Home Depot and Walmart. I think the market has had a chance to trade after Home Depot and Walmart earnings, guys. Folks, when did the earnings come out on? Hey, let me ask you something, Craig. When did the earnings come out on Home Depot and Walmart? Friday morning. Did the market have a chance to trade after Friday morning? I would think so. Okay. You got crypto. Yes, you got crypto, Richard, but you got a couple of things that are not on the horizon today. Remember, it has to be something that's happening in the next between now and the next and the markets in the market trading. The market had a good chance to trade after Walmart and Home Depot earnings. Oh, Rock. Yeah, it's not a catalyst for today. So the catalysts for today are sorry to hear that, Rock. Sorry you had a bad experience with a Ukrainian woman. Home sales, furniture, crypto, consumer staples, chip stocks. I've been with my Ukrainian wife for 25 years. So, and three kids. Best decision I've ever made. It's all good. It's all good. I don't, well, I'll tell you why crypto's falling in just a few minutes. We'll get into all that in a minute. We'll talk about that right now. So we got the catalysts, right? Home sales, furniture stocks, crypto stocks, consumer staples, and chip stocks. Did you guys get consumer staples? That's right, Rick. Absolutely. Absolutely, Rick. I couldn't agree with you more. I couldn't agree with you more, Rick. All right. All right. So I'm just trying to see if anybody mentioned if I'm trying to see if anybody mentioned consumer staples. Did anybody mention consumer staples? Matt, you didn't mention consumer staples and you didn't mention yeah, consumer staples and you didn't mention one other one. But I'm going to explain to you guys why in a minute. So, right here. Dr. Peppa, what do I tell you about consumer staples? They're very, very insensual. They're like this. Wayfair. Remember, Trump said something about Trump tariffs on Friday. That's not going to be good for furniture stores. Crypto. So you guys asked why cryptos stocks are moving lower in pre-market after the price of Bitcoin dropped. Remember, Bitcoin is on my catalyst list. Look, Bitcoin. Remember the first, well, not maybe the first thing, but one of the first things I told you this morning that, yeah, Bugs, we have a little entertainment here too. Listen, nothing wrong with talking about beautiful women in the morning. We have a lot of beautiful women in this audience. I've seen a lot of them, a lot of beautiful women in our audience. Women make this world go around, okay? So you see this breakdown? This is what's causing, it's a technical breakdown. And I will tell you that Bitcoin trades on technicals more than anything else. And we are having a breakdown. I will be watching crypto stocks for possible shorts today, okay? I will be watching crypto stocks for possible shorts today. Here are all the catalysts. Why are chips in our catalysts? Right here. Okta is not on our catalyst. It's not a big cap stock. KDP, any large consumer staple will impact other consumer staples. Crypto stocks, furniture stores, and incidentally, we have home sales today. Okay. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Absolutely, Bob. Happy women, happy men, period. Yeah. I did. That's exactly that's where I would, that's exactly Jeff, what Jeff just said. What Jeff just said. Folks, by the way, if you're just coming in here on Friday, I gave you a list. Stacy, I'll talk about that. I will talk about that in the VIP room. I think I know exactly what's causing it to go down. Actually, I'm going to talk about it in just a few minutes. If you just give me a minute, I promise I'll talk about it right now. And in the VIP room. So this is the VIP room. Now I got something interesting for you guys today. On Friday, I walked you through these things right here. Right here. And here's a link if you don't have it yet. You should have this. And my suggestion is for you before this noon session is to try to identify what your biggest weakness is. Try to find the three biggest weaknesses on this paper. I just posted the paper. I will talk about all of these 10 today and how to solve these problems. Most of us have two, three of these. Omar sent me an email Saturday. Well, first of all, he's doing really well. He's almost at 700K. But most importantly, Omar said, I'm just a beginner. I'm still making a lot of these problems. And if Omar can admit it, and I'm sure Richard's making some of these problems, I'm sure making some of these problems. Maybe you guys are too, and maybe we can do a survey or a poll to see which one hits the most, and we can talk about it. But I'm going to talk about how to see what RP just said. Friday's VIP session was an eye opener, priceless. Well, guess what? We're going to talk about all of them in detail and how to solve it. You really don't want to miss out. If you can avoid these 10 problems, you can easily make over 100,000 to a million a month. But you got to solve these problems first. You got to, and if you think you don't have any of these problems, oh boy, then you probably have all of them, okay? That reminds me of when I asked you guys if you have mental issues with trading, and everybody said no till I started talking about it, and then everybody said yes. All right. That's not a catalyst. That's just no trades before 10 a.m. Actually, um, you know what? I'm going to add number 11, not taking action till 10 a.m. But that's part of a trading plan. But here, only liquidating till after 10 a.m. That's a good one, Richard. I just added it. Thank you. Of course, Richard, we all do. We're human. If we did, okay, if you don't have any of these problems, then you're a computer, okay? Then you have no emotions, okay? We all have them, but hey, it's important to talk about them, okay? Of course, of course, of course. So let's talk about all these things, and then we'll get into stocks. I have a lot to share with you guys today. Oh. Why is somebody's asking me? Um, Somebody asked me why I believe Bitcoin is breaking down. I'll tell you why I think Bitcoin is breaking down. Because because crude oil is breaking higher. Energy prices. I think it's because of energy prices. This is my opinion. I don't have proof, but I think it's because we're seeing a breakout in energies and we're seeing a breakdown in Bitcoin. They oftentimes they have inverse relationships. Okay, so I think it's because of energy prices, but we'll know more later. But usually Bitcoin is a technical asset. Okay, but I personally think it's because of energy prices, and also I think that if the stock market starts getting a little stronger, okay, this is a belief that I have. I can't prove this, but I have a belief. I believe that a lot of folks younger than 40 are using Bitcoin the way us older folks used to use gold. Okay. I think that a lot of folks are now using Bitcoin as an alternative asset to the stock market. And I think that when they see money moving back into the stock market, it's kind of like an offset on gold. They kind of liquidate their Bitcoin and they put their money more into speculative stocks. So I can't prove it, but I think a lot of younger institutions are using Bitcoin as an alternate asset to gold. So I think that is what it is. Okay. And I think it's also the fact that energy prices are moving up. Now, can I prove that? No, I can't. That's just my opinion. And honestly, it really doesn't matter why. You should just focus on the breakdown. This is not a clean breakdown. I want to see us breaking at the lows, and I'll be talking about that later today. Okay. Does not inoculate you from making the no, you're right, Rick. You being aware of it. No, matter of fact, I have people who are aware of their problems. They keep making the same mistake over and over again. And they're expecting a different result. Okay, so now you understand my theory of why I think Bitcoin is weaker because of the stock market last week and because of energy prices. Peter says I'm buying Bitcoin for my grandchildren because my son-in-law won't. Well, see, my stepfather-in-law, he's buying gold for the grandkids over the last 15 years. So a lot of people, but he's older. He's in the 70s. So a lot of people are youngsters are buying Bitcoin. GB says, "Yo, bro, how's it hanging? I'm here to learn from the best, not spamming." Cool, G boss. Thank you. And you're absolutely right, Rick. Just because you know something doesn't mean you're going to do it. Okay. Let's break down everything. Slightly lower opening after last Friday's rally. Earnings report from NVIDIA is going to take major stage this week, plus others, and I'll talk about that right now. We're doing really good on our session. Folks, I have to go to work today, so I can't spend extra 15 minutes with you because Matt is back. And the Dow, oh, by the way, this is important. Notice the Dow made an all-time high, not the S&P 500. The Dow made an all-time high. Remember what I was telling you 2 weeks ago about money moving out of NASDAQ and moving into blue chips? Look at RSP on Friday, all-time high, equal weighted SPY, not the mega caps, not the mega caps. You see that? Not the mega caps, not the mega caps. Look at QQQ. Sorry, QQQ. Oh, my dogs, God bless them. They're going crazy right now. Look at QQQ, folks. Look at QQQ. Look at RSP. And if you're surprised by this, don't. I was telling you this 2 weeks ago that we're going to have a rotation out of megs and into smaller, large stocks. I think he is. I'll see him today for the first time since talking to him on Friday. But remember, keep an eye on this. Money's not coming into mega caps right now. You see that? And yes, I'll be watching this today, and I'll give you the levels for this in just a few minutes, okay? What are they barking about? Intel down 5%. Intuit, excuse me, down 5%, disappointing full year guidance. This is not good. Remember, a lot of folks buy Intuit for taxes, and the fact that they're not doing good is not great. Speaking Friday at the Fed conference, Jerome Powell cautioned, signaling a possibility of a September interest rate cut, citing rising risk to the labor market, even as concerns over inflation persists. The stability of the unemployment rate and other labor market measures allow us to proceed carefully as we consider changing to our policy. Nevertheless, with restrictive territory, the baseline outlook and shifting balance of risk may warrant adjusting our policy stance. They're going to lower a little bit, just a little bit, okay? Yeah, he still looked bad on Friday. Rick, S&P stocks that are not mega caps. I know it sounds like an oxymoron, but it's a good point. Not the Max 7, basically the S&P stocks without those mega caps. Yeah, mega caps, mega caps, mega caps. Right now, the smaller S&P 500 stocks are moving, not the mega caps. Meanwhile, there's an 87% chance. We went from 100% to 80%. Now we're at 87% that they're going to move a quarter of a basis point. Trump announced major tariff probe into imported furniture. Keep an eye on that. Remember, we were just talking about Wayfair last week. NVIDIA takes center stage, but it doesn't take center stage today, folks. It doesn't take center stage. What happens if NVIDIA earnings are good? Well, oh, those dogs of mine, God bless them. They're just going crazy right now. Then this can rally hard. Then mega caps will catch up with the SPY. Look at SPY right now. See, couldn't take out the high. Couldn't take out the high. But look at RSP. I warned you. I warned you. I saw that coming 2 weeks in advance. I did, and I warned you about it. I told you there's a huge this divergence between them. Anyway, we also have CrowdStrike, which is a big company. We have Snow, we have Dell, we have Marvell, another major chip stock. We have Autodesk, that's a major a major software stock. This will impact Adobe and other software stocks, Microsoft, HPQ as well. QQQE. Hold on. QQQE has not moved yet. The S&P blue chips are taking center stage. Blue chip large cap stocks are taking center stage. Blue chip large cap stocks that are not mega caps. Rick, if I was to do that, folks, can we get a couple of thumbs up? If you're enjoying this program, can we get a couple of thumbs up right here? I would appreciate it. Just one or two would send us over the edge to 300 and make me and Bob happy. I know you don't hear the dogs, but me, that's all I hear in my ear. It's a good microphone, Sylvia. Okay. Market watchers will closely watch U.S. economic data, July readings of the core personal consumption expenditure. This is Friday's data. So we got a lot of data second part of this week. Will be the main highlight. If the core PCE index is strong, the Fed may need another weak job report. This is why I highlighted this. Folks, everybody and their grandmother are going to be looking at the PCE report. We want to be looking at the PCE report this week because this is going to really determine 100% what they're going to do or not. At least in the eye of the market. We have new home sales data today. This will also impact furniture. Oh, thank you, Coach Rubin. I appreciate that. Double checking what I say with Chat GDP, huh? Europe is down a little bit, not a lot, not a lot. This is important because we're definitely erasing some gains. And you guys know it's Monday, and you know how I operate on Monday. I'm usually not very frisky on Monday. Erasing Friday's gains that were driven by dovish remarks by the Fed. China closed at a 10-year high. Just they're doing amazing right now. The casino stocks like Las Vegas Sands are actually on my list today. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. Thank you, folks, for giving us over 300. I do a lot of work for you, Michael. I enjoy doing this. But you know, Michael, I don't just do it for you. I do it for myself, too. I do this for myself. This is my pre-market. This is how I get a feel for the market. Might as well share the wealth, right? Let's see how SPY's doing right now. Well, just been coming off. Look, just coming off since see right here, we made an all-time high and then we just kept going down. What I'm fearful is that we're going to come all the way down here. But I'll give you some levels in just a minute. We still have a little time. Japan closed higher, tracking. Japan usually tracks Wall Street. Usually. Thank you, Jeff. By the way, Jeff, I send you an email over the weekend. Just FYI. Just FYI. Wayfair, and we talked about catalysts. Keep your eye on consumer staples today. Consumer staples were really strong last week. Okay. Furniture stock, you got a bunch of furniture stock. You got, here they are. You got Wayfair, you got Williams-Sonoma, you got RH. My wife loves to go to RH. She says their restaurant is fantastic in the town center here. She doesn't shop there, but she goes to their restaurant. She says she's always tries to get me to go. And I can't go during the work week. So she's been there like 20 times, but I haven't been there once. That's what I get for being a trader. Okay, let's talk about sentiment. Let's talk about sentiment. Now, last week we had a huge, Friday was a big day, right? So you would think all the speculative stocks are leading again, right? Well, let's take a look. Material, finance, industrial, look where technology is. Look where QQQ is. Look where semiconductor is. Look where Bitcoin is. Look where communication is. Folks, Friday did not do anything to lift technology higher. Friday's mega rally, I'm going to repeat this again because this is pretty important. Friday's mega rally did not do anything to lift the market high, to change the thumbprint of the stocks. This is really mixed. This is really mixed with technology taking a back seat. It's not very frequent that blue chips lead over technology for an extended period of time. I'm going to repeat that again. It's not very often that technology leads over blue chips for an extended period of time. Why? Because technology stocks are more interest rate sensitive than blue chips for the most part. Cam, I read that as well. They're saying because Vegas just got really greedy with how much they charge. It never picked up again after COVID. It never overcame the pre-COVID levels. They got to reach the corporations are getting a little too greedy in Cam. I used to go to Vegas. Brunch was $20. Now it's $75. Resort fees $100 a night. They've gone nuts. People can't afford that. You know what I realize? I've taken a lot of time off during August, then spending time with families. Of course, Richard. Of course. Spending time with family, you can't get that back. That's the best thing you could be doing. Plus, the market's been shit, Richard. It's been just crap. Okay, what about sentiment? Do we have a lot of stocks moving? We do. It's hard not to have over 100 stocks moving. We have 388 stocks making 90-day highs. We have um, over 500 stocks making 20-day highs. I'm going to give you a little prediction. I believe by Thursday or Friday, this number is going to be in the 100s again. I want to show you something. I want to show you something. Look, listen and watch. Pay attention. Okay, so look at Wednesday, August 13th. We were at 470, right? Right? And look at next day, 139. So look at today. This is a lot of firepower. So the only thing that would keep this up here is if tech decided to really start rallying and if blue chips kept their mojo. Don't think that's going to happen because the rally last week did absolutely nothing, for technology. Nothing for technology. Look what rallied. Home builders, Russell 2000, mid caps, real estate, materials, but not technology. This is all blue chips, by the way. This is all blue chips. This is all blue chips. Technology, this consumer discretionary tech, communication, Bitcoin, semi, this is all at the bottom. We need to start seeing the market hold up with these leading. That's what we need to see. We're not seeing that right now. Canadians stopped going to Vegas, 100%, Robert. I read the same thing. Yeah, I haven't been there in 6 years. And we used to go every 3-4 weeks for concerts when I lived in LA. We do have upside momentum, folks, but you could see bank stocks, gold stocks, healthcare stocks. That's not speculative money. 90-day high, 388. That's a good number, but look at lows, 4. Market has no rhythm. Market has to be rhythmic. You can't have a lot of upside without it moving to the downside. You need to have buyers come in and sell and then buy again. Sell, come in again. Nobody's selling. They're just holding on. This is a very, very Augusty market right now. Okay? All right, let's talk about levels, and then I got to get out of here. Okay, this is real-time charts. I'm going to give you guys levels for today, okay? Right there. Right there. 642.59. 646.48, and the closing price right here. So you got 645.26, 646.82, and 642.59. Those are the levels, okay? There's another one right here, but it's a small one. Yeah, I'm not even going to put that on here. It's too small. It's just going to confuse you. That's the SPY. Let me give you these levels. Let me give you these levels for QQQ, okay? Right there. I'm hoping that these levels are helpful to you. Okay, those are the levels, okay? You may want to take a screenshot, okay? Those are not random levels, by the way. I know they look random. They're not random. You could see them right here. Here's the levels. 569.58, 570, 571.99, 573.32, 574. In terms of daily levels, and this is what I would be focusing on, I want to see us take out this high, period. I don't think we're going to take out this low. I would keep an eye on this level. Now, somebody asked me what I'm expecting from the SPY. Do you see this bar right here? Now, folks, this is a good time for you guys all to open your ears and listen. Do you see this bar right here? You see how this price bar is right above this candle? And it happens to be right at the 50th percentile or close to 50th percentile. If the SPY does not take out the high, but doesn't take out this 568.59 level, this level right here, 569.58 level, okay? It's a very important level, 569.58. If it takes out this level, I want to make sure we close at least above it. I don't want us to close below this level. If we erase 50% of this bar, then this bar becomes very weak. So I'm hoping that this will be the support level for today's trading action. I don't think it will, but I'm hoping that it will, okay? That level is 568.59 on the QQQ. On the SPY, that level is right here. That level is 639.97. Here, let me, right here. And 642.59 and 639.07. See the 639.97? That's a major level right here. That's where the 8-day EMA. I want us to stop at the 8-day EMA right here and not hit this level. Capiche? I'm giving you everything, Richard. Rick, I'm giving you everything. I'm also going to do this for the Dow, maybe. Should I even do it for the Dow? I don't know. No, I don't want to do it for the Dow. This is the area you want to watch, the 8-day EMA right here. And for the Dow, I guess I'll give you some levels here. Here's the first level, 457.88. And right here, 455.44. Keep an eye on the 8-day EMA. I'd like to see us take out the high. I think today will be an inside day. And I'll do it for SMH too. And I'm hoping that this is helpful to you guys. You see right here, we don't want to come to this level. We don't want to break 290. If we break 290 and we're going to make our way back to 265 right here. We don't want to break this trajectory right here. But more importantly, we want the 8-day. We're right at the 8-day right now. We want that 8-day EMA to hold. We don't want to break this low right here. All bets off level is 290.06. 290.06. Okay? 290.06. 290.06. And then the high, it would be like right here. It would be like right here, this high. But I think we're going to have an inside day. I don't think we have the firepower to break out today. Okay? Those are the levels. Now, let me give you stocks, and then I got to get out of here. Folks, let me ask you a question. Is this being helpful to you guys? Is this giving you a reasonable way to, is this giving you a little something to work with when you when you start trading the day? Yes, right. Pictures hiding the 8. Right here, the 8 and the 15 are right there. They're right there. You could see it right here, Rick. Jeff, you could see it right here. Yeah, they're right on top of each other. The earnings schedule for this week is right here. I gave that to you. PDD today. PDD. Does PDD already come out, or did it come out after the or did it come out after the open? Let's see. I could tell you that right now. PDD looks like it already came out. Consumer cyclicals. Okay. Here's the link for the earnings. Here's the links for the earnings, okay? Here, let me give you the link. Now, folks, remember, on Friday, we had an amazing session. People were very happy. I gave you a list of 10 things. We now made it 11. Thank you, Richard. Of 10 things or 11 things. Well, this is basically not following a trading plan, but yeah, only liquidating till after 10. But let me go ahead and post this again. I will be breaking this down. Me and Cam will be breaking that down today, okay? That's that. And here's the link. If you don't know where to find that, here's the link for that, okay? Let me give you that. Here's the VIP room. It happens at noon today. All the good stuff will happen at noon today. I don't think you should miss out. It's going to be a great session. And here's Customer Service Live, the Cam and Gustavo show, the best place on earth to go to get everything set up. Okay, right there. All right, you guys should have everything. Hey, Carol, good morning to you. Good to see you here. Good to see you here. I saw T-Buzz yesterday. He was at my wife's birthday. He had to leave a little earlier. He had an 8 o'clock class. But anyway, let me give you the stocks that I'm looking at. All right. All right. Now, you only want to look to, we don't care about the 5 minute chart. We want to look right here. We only care about these charts, okay? Time Warner. This is I used to trade for the Bronfman family. They own Time Warner Music, the music company. That's the company I used to trade. I used to be a private trader for the Bronfman family, and the older brother, Junior, owns Time Warner. Looking really good right now. BAC, Bank of America is looking really good right now. We did a straddle on it on Friday, just broke even, didn't really do anything for us. Las Vegas Sands, speaking of China, this Las Vegas Sands is looking great right now. I know. Vegas is not looking great, but Las Vegas Sands is looking great. Google is looking great. Pfizer is looking great. IPG is looking good. APA is looking good. DraftKings is looking good. Newmont is still looking good. Fastenal is still looking good. Good. Thanks, George. Actually, I like Fastenal a lot. The stock looks really good. It looks like GE about a year and a half ago. Okay, small caps. Folks, be careful with small caps right now. Those were longs. Yeah, I decided to do longs today. Sorry, I did longs. I did longs first. I don't know why I did longs first, but I did longs first. GGAL, okay? And I believe this one has earnings tomorrow, so be careful. BJ's, maybe do a time spread on it. BJ's, TW, BBAR. There's not a lot of great shorts right now. I'm being really serious with you. There's not a lot of great shorts. I'll show you in a second. QSR, restaurant stock, consumer staples. Remember restaurant stocks and CAH. Most healthcares are doing pretty good, but this one is not. And by the way, I hate to say this, but it's an A line right now. It just needs to drop another couple of ticks, and it's a perfect A line to the downside. By the way, I think it's going to come right down here. But I like this for a short target over here. Yeah. So I wanted to just show you something really quick. If you look at our short list, just want to show you guys this. Look at the 52-week lows, 0. Look at 20-week lows, 1. Look at 50-day lows, 4. Look at 90-day lows, 4. When you see that, you don't want to trade to the short side just because there's just not a lot of momentum to the short side. Now, it may increase, but you don't want to be the first guy in. You want the momentum to be moving. You want the wind to be moving back. What you're seeing right now is most stocks moving higher, and then when a down day comes, they just come and have an inside day. They don't break down. And if they don't break down, they won't be on this list because the stock has to trade below yesterday's low, not inside yesterday's low. So you guys understand, we don't have a lot of stocks trading below. Nothing is breaking down. It's just going up and consolidating, going up. It's like this. Warm? It's like this. It's moving like this. Look. Back, forth, back, forth, back, forth, but it's not moving down. It's just going like this. In, out, in, out, in, out. So you're getting the upside momentum, but you're not getting any outside momentum. Okay? All right. So, folks, overall, again, let me give you VIP room. Today's going to be a really important day. Today may be a change, the trade that changes your life, because if you can identify that you're making these mistakes, and if you can change them, that's the big difference. You can't change something if you don't know you're doing it, right? So today we're going to figure out how to get past them, and it's going to be a very, very valuable session. A session like today, by learning, just missing one thing, it can change your trajectory completely. Don't miss today's session. And here's customer service live. And if you want that list, let me give it to you. Here's the list, okay? Here's that list. This is the list we're going to be going over with today. Folks, please don't do anything till after 10 a.m. today. We're going to have a lot of news, and I think the market is going to want to offset some of the gains. And because we just went up so much on Friday, a little bitty correction today could seem like a big move down. Make sure to know if it's a little correction or a real move down. We're going to have to look at volume today. We're going to have to see if volume is on the level or not. Keep an eye on your Telegram channel. I will be updating you throughout the whole day. Also, remember, folks, it's Monday. Remember how I am on Monday with trades? I usually like to get busier towards the end of the day. Monday morning is not a great time for me to put on trades. It's never been. Friday afternoons and Monday mornings, I'm very with trades. Okay. Thank you all for coming here. Thank you for saying all the nice words about my wife and her birthday and all that. She's just my wife is amazing. And I will see you guys later. If anybody has a question for me, roger@rogerscott.com. Here's my email address, roger@rogerscott.com. Bye, everybody. Bye. And again, if I ever talk about Trump or politics, I wasn't trying to get political. I was just trying to explain how Putin thinks and his dynamic. And I think most agree with he's a scoundrel. That Putin is a scoundrel. We'll see you guys later. Bye, guys. I'll see you later. And if anybody wants to send me an email, feel free. Bye, everybody. Have a fantastic day, actually. And stay out of